David has the question. Twice.
We talked about, had you ever been in the backyard, have you ever been in the house, all those things, and you said you hadn't.
No, while they were there, no.
Okay. Well, I don't believe you. I don't think you're telling the whole truth, okay? Your DNA is in the backyard. She was just helping us.
Two haunting cases, one undoing the tragic journey of a troubled boy, Christian Fernandez, marked by a stained past, and another revealing the chilling mystery surrounding Kirsten's disappearance. Both highlight the complexities and deep impacts of unresolved tragedies on those involved. Meet Christian Fernandez, a 13-year-old who grew up in a challenging environment. His tough upbringing, marked by family neglect, led to suppressed emotions that eventually resulted in a significant event, making him the youngest individual in history to face serious legal charges. Christian was born in Miami, Florida in 1999 to Bianella Susana at a very young age. His father faced legal consequences for harming her and received a significant probation sentence. At the age of 8, authorities looked into reports of potential harm caused by a family member. By October 2010, Christian and his mother lived with her new partner, but an incident resulted in Christian's severe injury, prompting a hospital visit for examination. Christian mentioned an accident with his stepfather. When authorities arrived at their residence, they discovered Christian's stepfather deceased due to a tragic incident. However, another sad event happened on June 3, 2011, when deputies responded to an incident at the apartment, where Christian's younger sibling was found deceased. Christian was questioned by the police after they noticed something unusual on his clothing. During the interrogation, he sat facing a detective, creating a tense atmosphere. Despite this, the detective chose to approach the conversation by connecting with Christian's innocence rather than intensifying the pressure of the interrogation.
Oh, you're 13 now? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you're 13 years old.
I'm 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 12. Okay, all right. So, and today is, do you know what today is?
14.
It's the 15th now.
15.
It was the 14th, but it's the 15th. And it's late. Whew. Okay. What this says is this is your constitutional rights, okay? And this is what I'm going to read it to you, okay? And I just need you to sign here that you understand them. You have nice cursive. My son's working on his. That looks good. Do y'all have to write everything in cursive at school? Do you have to write everything in cursive at school? No?
We have to praise Detective Nichelle Soilig for her remarkable composure and engaging demeanor throughout this complicated case. Starting from the beginning, her calm and attentive responses deserve recognition.
The night you were home, you told me, you said before, in January, he got hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And he had broken his leg, little David. Mm-hmm. And how did he break his leg in January?
By yoga.
Yoga? Mm-hmm. And what room were you guys in?
In our room.
Okay. You share a room with him?
No, he always goes to she's always sleeping with my mom.
Okay, so he sleeps with your mom. Oh. And you and your 5-year-old brother and your 4-year-old sister all share a room. Mm-hmm. So, y'all were in your room doing yoga? Mm-hmm. Were y'all watching a video or something, or?
No.
So what exactly happened that day in January?
That I put his legs to and back of his butt.
Okay, like how? Can you show me? I mean, you probably can't. Flexible, but how did you do his legs?
Like the Indians do.
Like the Indians do? Mm-hmm. So did you put the leg behind his neck, or how did you do it?
Like in the floor behind him.
Oh, so kind of like a reverse Indian style? Mm-hmm. So you put the legs behind him? Mm-hmm. Were y'all watching that on TV or something?
No.
Where'd you see that at?
In the book.
And where?
In the book.
You still have that book?
No.
Where did that book come from?
From when I was in Miami.
Oh, Miami, okay. Who else was in the room when that happened?
Me and him.
Just y'all two?
Mm-hmm.
Where was your mom at?
I think she was taking my brother to school.
So, okay.
So,
oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. I know he doesn't really look like your brother, but you can show me with the doll how he did that. You want to show me? So, he was sitting like this, and then how did you do his legs so we can understand happened?
Like this.
Oh, and then And then what else did you do with his little legs?
And like this, and that's it.
You pushed him back?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't twist the leg up or anything? Or?
What do you mean, like?
No, I don't know. I'm asking, like, exactly what you did. Show me again what you did.
Like this.
Oh, okay. 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 But did you hear a snap or something? Did you hear a pop?
Well, sort of.
Yeah. And what happened then?
He started crying, and then I stopped.
Oh. And, so how long was it before your mom got home?
A couple of, like, minutes.
And what did you tell your mom about it?
I don't remember the story that I made up before.
That what, babe?
What I told her before.
What do you mean?
I didn't tell her that I was doing yoga with him.
Oh, what did you tell him? What did you tell her?
I don't remember. What I
Oh,
told
you
her.
don't remember what you told her is what you're saying?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. How long did he cry for? A long time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that probably hurt him really bad.
At this stage, it's evident that the mother is carelessly conveying incorrect messages to her child by not closely monitoring his actions. Reflecting on the 2011 incident involving his brother's injury, rather than guiding the boy to acknowledge his mistake, he was encouraged to lie about the circumstances surrounding his brother's injury.
Tonight, you guys were in your room, just you and David?
Uh-huh.
Was your other brother and sister in there?
Mm-hmm.
So all y'all in
No,
there?
I think it was just me and him too.
Just y'all two?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what really happened tonight.
I put him to carry books.
You put him to carry books?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what kind of books?
Like the books that we have in our bookshelf.
Are they big books or little books? Or...
Like a bunch of skinny books.
Okay, so he was carrying them?
Mm-hmm.
Does he walk good with that one cast on?
I think he starts with one and normal walks with the other.
Okay, so he had books in his arms?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened?
And then they fell on him
They fell on him as he was carrying?
as he was carrying them.
Where did they fall on him at?
On his head and, you know.
How did they fall on his head if he was carrying them?
Like this he was carrying them. Because he didn't know how to carry away.
So then what else happened?
And then they fell on him and then he fell.
This side of his head is really injured up with a lot of bruising and swelling.
Mm-hmm.
So, and his nose is really swollen up. Well, he didn't get those head injuries just from books. That's why we need to know the whole story, because that can't happen from just books. You know what I mean? That's not the true Christian.
The detective becomes aware of his familiarity with dishonesty. Even when she mentioned the possibility of him hitting his head on a bunk bed following his improbable book-carrying explanation, he casually denied it. Consequently, Detective Solig needs to change tactics. Given his openness, she can confidently point out his falsehoods without the concern of him opting to remain silent.
It's okay. I just need to know the truth. So, just like you told me the truth about January, and you're doing a good job. Well, there's something else that happened tonight, because earlier, I know that you told all the officers and everybody that he climbed up the ladder on the bunk bed and fell. But that wasn't the truth, was it? Okay. I don't think it's the truth, maybe. Actually, I know it's not the truth. He's got really bad head injury. So if you can tell me how he got that, it would be really helpful for him. So what happened tonight? We'll just start over, because it's okay. We just need to know the truth. So what exactly happened tonight with David?
I put him to carry books.
What else? Is that what your mom's going to tell me? That's not what your mom's going to tell me, is it?
No.
Okay. I'm going to ask you again, Christian, one more time. What happened with David tonight?
That's what happened.
That's not what happened.
The detective is attempting to connect gently with him as a means to encourage a confession. She also mentioned that while he stated in this interrogation that he got injured from carrying books, he had previously told officers that his brother had climbed the bunk bed ladder and fell. Such inconsistencies only increase suspicion. To uncover the truth, the detective is now aiming to offer an emotional viewpoint to encourage honesty from the boy.
You have to be honest with yourself, too. And you need to be honest for little Davy's sake. David's not feeling too good right now, okay? He deserves for you to tell us the truth. Because then I'm going to go and I'm going to ask your mom, too. But I don't think that's what your mom's going to tell me. And I don't think that's what your little brother and sister are going to tell me either. I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell me, okay? So let's just take a deep breath and tell me, when you and David were in the room together tonight, what happened? You can tell me. You can tell me, okay?
You can sense the boy's guilt through his lowered gaze and silence, particularly when the detective mentions his younger sibling. While this approach is often effective in adult interrogations, it can overwhelm vulnerable individuals, leading to potential false confessions. However, given that his current fabrication involves his baby brother injuring himself while carrying books, it's evident he's hiding something and nearing a confession. At this point, the wisest, although risky approach for a detective is to say the specific word they seek from the individual.
Did you push him down? So what happened to him? Did you slam him down?
What do you mean slam?
Like on the ground?
No.
Well, what happened to him?
Like slam.
Well, just tell me what happened to David. Tell me the truth. And that way you don't have to lie anymore. You don't have to make up stories. Okay? And if you tell the truth, so just tell me exactly what happened. Tell me what happened, sweetie. What are you scared of? I'm just scared of hell. I know. I can see it. Did your mom do something to David?
No.
But you did?
No.
Okay. And see, you're getting there. It's okay. You need to tell me. Okay? What did you do to David tonight? It's okay. You don't want to sit there. Tell me what happened. I'd rather hear it from you than your mom. Do you feel bad about what happened tonight? Is that why it's hard for you to tell me?
Yes.
Okay. If we do things that are wrong, Christian, and we feel bad about it, okay? Okay. So tell me what happened tonight.
I pushed him against a bookshelf.
Okay. Where's the bookshelf at in the room?
In front of my sister's bed.
And how did you push him in it? Like, what was he doing for you to push him?
Nothing.
Why'd you push him? Are you angry about something?
Yes.
What were you angry about?
No, my stepdad did it to me.
Oh, your stepdad did to you? Is that what you said? Why were you angry about that tonight?
Because I was thinking a lot.
Is there a reason why him?
No.
Is this because he was there?
Yes.
How many times did you push him into the shelf?
Twice.
You pushed him pretty hard. Well, what do you think? Did you push him pretty hard? What'd you say to him? You say bad words to him?
Yeah.
What'd you say to him?
I didn't say anything to him.
So, what shelf did he hit it? Where did he hit it on the bookshelf?
On the first one.
Can you show me with the doll how you pushed him into the shelf?
By his hand.
So, show me with the doll how you.
Like push it and.
Oh, okay. So you pushed him with your hand into the shelf. Well, did he cry or did he just?
Yeah, he cried.
Did he pass out and go to sleep? Did he do that right away?
Right away that I hit him twice.
Is that all that happened tonight? So how did all the blood get everywhere in the room?
Because when I was dragging him to his bed, I actually carried him.
Okay. To what bed?
To my brother's bed.
The bottom bunk? Okay. So you carried him to the bottom bunk, and where was he bleeding from?
From his nose.
Okay. Anywhere else?
Like his mouth.
His mouth was bleeding?
And in that moment, the boy admitted to pushing his brother into his father's bookshelf, not once, but twice. Interestingly, you might have observed the detective's shift from intense inquiries to more gentle ones right after the boy's weighty revelation. For instance, after he confessed to the act, she redirected the conversation by asking about the bookshelf. With 2 mild responses following that, he disclosed the substantial truth. It's admirable work by the detective. Amidst this distressing incident, you might wonder about the whereabouts of the parents. So let's dive into that.
How long was he like that before you told your mom?
I told my mom right away, but I didn't tell her what happened. I told her something else.
What did you tell her?
That he got hit with the ladder.
Did she believe you?
Yes.
And your little brother and sister weren't in the room when it happened?
No.
What was your mom doing when this happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm driving.
Was she home or no? Where was she at?
Taking my brother to school. I'm not sure where she was.
But she wasn't home when it happened?
No.
Did she make you babysit your brothers and sisters a lot?
But not a lot.
Okay. So you stay at home with them a lot. I mean, not a lot, but you babysit them.
Personal home.
Okay.
But when I'm babysitting, they always stay together.
The 3 of them? But where were the other 2 tonight when your mom was gone?
Louis was still with me and Yanni was with my mom.
So just you and David were in the room?
No, me and my sister.
Okay, so your other brother was with your mom? Okay, so your sister was in the living room and David was in the room with you? Okay. Did you call your mom as soon as it happened? Or did you just wait for her to come
as soon as it happened. I realized what I'd done.
So you realized he was hurt? And how long did it take her to get home?
A couple of minutes.
And what did she do when she came home?
She cleaned them, and then she went to the hospital. Cleaned them and changed his clothes.
She cleaned him and changed his clothes?
Well, I think she changed his clothes because I didn't see him after.
Was she crying?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that she got on the computer before she went to the hospital?
No, she was on the phone on the computer.
Okay. You know what she was looking up?
No.
According to reports, Christian contacted her around 9 a.m., yet his mother delayed contacting the doctor or taking the toddler to the hospital until approximately 5:25 p.m. Furthermore, during this delay, while her son was in the other room bleeding, she spent time browsing the internet, downloading music, and conducting multiple medical-related searches using keywords like concussion and unconscious for hours. It's noteworthy that she entrusted her 5-year-old to the care of her 12-year-old, who had previously displayed signs of frustration or anger toward his younger brother.
Did your mom say anything different when?
I'd like to, but she didn't know it was me that did it.
Right. So
I'm sure now.
Okay.
This scenario highlights a significant oversight in parental guidance. At 12 years old, Christian lacked the awareness that his actions could harm his younger brother. It emphasizes the importance of parents being vigilant in monitoring their children's interactions to educate them about right and wrong. Christian had no understanding that his actions, which he referred to as the Indian, could result in his brother's injury. When David lost consciousness, Christian reacted by moving him to his bed. He consistently denied any intent to harm his brother and repeatedly asked the officers if doctors could help awaken him. This shows his concern and indicates he never intended to cause harm. Subsequently, after the detective leaves the room for 10 minutes to allow him time to reflect, she eventually discloses the truth about whether his younger brother survived or not.
Yes, he's like too little for that.
Too little to not.
Mine, his heart is weak, so if his heart stopped working.
Why is his heart weak?
Because he's small.
Because he's small.
And if his heart stops, then he stops. And he hasn't even, and he has never done that before.
He's never done that before?
Never done that before.
Is that why you knew it was bad?
Because he's never done it before. I've seen my cousin do it, but that's how he sleeps. Because he has had that a lot of times.
Has he?
So that's why he sleeps like that. But David has never done it, so I'm worried.
His brain started swelling.
Like bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Bigger. So it touches his brain.
So his head,
It's not good. It's not really good.
it's not good. But you're old enough and smart enough to know that it didn't look good when you did it, correct? And it doesn't sound good from what you're asking me and what I'm telling you, right? Can I ask you a question? Why'd you push him twice?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know why I pushed him.
Was he still standing up from the first push after you pushed
Yeah,
him?
he's done like
Did he cry?
Yeah,
First time. And then you pushed him again.
Then he stopped crying.
Well, I think I'm gonna go and talk to your mom now. Okay? And I'm gonna have to tell her the truth, okay? And what happened. Well, let me go talk for a few minutes and I'll come back. Okay? You okay?
Following the interrogation, despite a confession from Christian, a judge dismissed it due to concerns about his understanding of his rights during questioning. However, he was found guilty of a serious offense and was sentenced as a juvenile until the age of 19. In July 2018, he was put on probation with specific guidelines to avoid contact with minors and limited interaction with surviving siblings unless initiated by them. Regarding the mother, she pleaded guilty to a charge and received a probationary sentence. This case tells the story of a misunderstood young boy with a troubled past, leading to a tragic incident involving his brother. This was a challenging situation involving Christian Fernandez. As the story of Christian Fernandez's tragic case concluded, shedding light on the difficulties of a young boy's troubled circumstances, a separate yet equally distressing incident unfolded years later. On the night of May 13, 1997, Shannon Hatfield tucked her 8-year-old daughter, Kirsten, into bed, unaware of the devastating events to follow. The next morning, Kirsten had vanished, a nightmare realized for every parent. The unsettling discovery of torn underwear stained with blood and distressing traces of blood on her bedroom windowsill intensified the haunting nature of her disappearance. For years, the case remained an unsolved and haunting mystery. However, in 2015, a shocking turn emerged when Anthony Palma, a 56-year-old neighbor residing just 2 doors away from the Hatfields, emerged as a prime suspect. Palma wasn't merely a neighbor. Rumors circulated for years about his concerning behavior, especially towards children. His arrest came after his blood samples perfectly matched those found at Kirsten's window and on her clothing, provoking detailed conversations between law enforcement and Palma.
Tell me, 17 years ago, how your life was, how that neighborhood was, what was going on in that neighborhood. I know I've read some of the reports that from the interviews before, and how it appears to me that they call you Uncle Tony around there because you care about the kids. You were feeding some of the kids.
Yeah.
And
basically, when I lived there was a bunch of older people. That was like not no retirement place, but most of the people in that area were old retirees.
Yeah.
And you know, I like doing stuff all the time. You know, I was always outside, and if somebody's working on their vehicle, got to go be busybody, hey, you know, and help them. Or somebody's washing machine was broke down, and older people, you know, they can't. It's older people,
Right.
you know, can't do stuff. And I've always been mechanically inclined, you know, where I could figure stuff out, you know,
Right.
or help them move this, or, you know, just, I've always been, I don't know about friendly, but neighborly.
Right.
And that being my first home,
Right.
you know, I tried to make it where that neighborhood was my home.
Yeah. Well, did you help any of the kids over there?
Well, when
Feed them pizza?
yeah, there's always, that's my pet.
Kool-Aid house?
Well, I don't know about Kool-Aid. That's always been my pet peeve, is I grew up hungry. You know, and there's a lot of kids hungry.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not where I'd go out of my way, hey, you hungry? But I mean, you see kids, you're over there eating something, and they're just,
Right.
you know, you see them draw it, here,
Right.
take it.
Right.
I can't stand that.
Yeah.
And I'm like that now. I got 2 damn kids in my house, grown boys. One, he says that when he was at his house, he didn't eat from Monday to Friday till he got to my house.
Wow. You know, that's one of the stories I want to turn my phone off so people will leave me alone. Before we get started here, Tony, let me go ahead and I want to read you your Miranda warning, okay?
Okay.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish one. And if you decide to make a statement, you can stop at any time. And do you understand each of those rights I've explained to you? Having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
Yes.
Okay. As my partner Lander said, we're still working on the Hatfield case, okay? And there's some things that we want to go back over with you. We try to be as thorough as we can be on cases like this, and I'd like to go back initially over some of what you've already talked to Detective Miller about in the past. I wasn't there. I'm kind of up to speed on some of it, but my understanding is when Kirsten disappeared, you were still living there at 1104, correct? Okay. Do you mind just initially kind of take us back to 1997 and go back over that, maybe that evening before and into that morning when all of it all kind of started blowing up, and just best you can tell us everything you remember. And take your time. I know we're going back some years.
Yeah, I'm starting to get that old timer stuff. But really the only thing I can really remember is afterwards, you know, when, you know, because it was just a typical day. You know, got off work, went home, had supper, watched TV. Because used to being a landscaper, my yard was my pride.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted to play in my yard because my yard was nothing but Bermuda. I mean, I had, you know, I just had Bermuda grass.
Sure.
But I mean, not that they came over there, but that's what I did. I always worked on my yard.
Mm-hmm. And back then, you said you were working at the Capitol?
Yes.
So, okay. So you were very experienced at keeping the yard
Oh,
up.
yeah. I, well, you know, got chemical license, all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Okay. You remember anything about the day or evening before? You said it was just a typical day. You worked all day and then went home. You remember anything unusual about that evening that stands out to you?
No, other than what I told them about, you know, seeing the white truck, you know, in front of the white Chevy truck in front of their yard.
Okay.
You know, I like I said, I didn't have anything to do with those people. Didn't know them at all. You know,
Okay.
It's not like I went, hey, yeah, you got little girls. No, it wasn't nothing like that.
Okay.
I was outside working on my yard. You know, either talking to the neighbors or kid would come by, Tony, can you fix my bike? You know, stuff like that.
As the officers carefully redirected the conversation to the day Kirsten went missing, Tony casually described it as an ordinary day. After returning from work, he occupied himself with yard work, a routine he cherished. When pressed for more details, he mentioned noticing a peculiar white truck in the area. Despite not having direct interaction with Kirsten's family, he shifted the conversation toward his acquaintance with Trista, a local girl. Eventually, the focus returned to the Hatfields. During their discussion about the Hatfields, Tony struggled to recall how long the family had been part of the community. However, he remembered a previous neighbor named William, whom he had assisted in setting up a fence.
You know, it wasn't like I'd tell them to come over or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go to other people's houses unless, you know, I was needed or something like that. But everybody just got, oh, Tony will fix your bike and blah, 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 you know. And I tried to make it feel like, you know, that was kind of a safe place, you know, for, you know. Because I had Tristy at the time. She wasn't there during that time. But I had Tristy there since she was, you know, small. And whenever she was there, you know, the kids would come and play with her. And
Now,
you
who
know,
is Tristy?
she was one of my girlfriend's daughters.
Okay.
That stayed with me a lot.
Okay. So you had a good bond with Tristy, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Was she?
And her mom, yeah.
Who was mom?
Mom's dead, unfortunately. Melody, I wonder which name she wanted to go to. Howell.
Okay. How old is Tristy now? Grown, I'm assuming.
Yeah, about 30.
Okay.
No, we don't talk that much anymore because everybody's into this computer stuff, and that's how they communicate. But my daughter was looking on her Facebook, and she'd send us a text that she was fixing to have or that I'm a grandpa.
No.
She had a daughter.
Okay. You said you didn't know them. I'm assuming you're meaning Shannon and Kirsten?
Yeah. And I couldn't even tell you how long they'd lived there.
Okay. I was going to actually ask you that. So you didn't know how long they'd been living there when this happened?
And I going to think they hadn't been there very long.
And tell me what you remember about that. Do you remember seeing them move in or anything?
No. I'm trying to remember. A friend of mine lived in that house. I can't remember what his damn name is, but he had a janitorial service,
Mm-hmm.
Janny King,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd visit with him. I helped him put the fence up around his house. You know, helped him. In fact, his boy come up missing one day.
Really?
Yeah, he was like 7 or 8 or younger than that. And we went looking everywhere for him. We finally found him. He was under the bed. Went to sleep and crawled underneath the bed. But I mean, everybody was freaking. We had Midwest City out there, and of course, you know, everybody in the neighborhood was out there looking. Me and him were, you know, going up street, you know, hollering his name, and then she calls, says, "Yeah, we found him. He's under the bed."
That's usually where we start. You learn that early on in FTO school. Check all the closets, check out in the boat, in the backyard, in the shed. You know. So you're saying this friend of yours lived at the house where
Right.
Shannon and Kirsten lived?
Right.
Okay. And was that immediately before them, or do you know? You remember?
I don't remember, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
And I don't remember if after he moved out, if there had been somebody in that house before they did, or what. I don't remember.
You remember that guy's name? I know you said you did.
William was his first name.
Okay.
I don't remember what his last name was. That's been a while back.
And you said you helped put up the fence around the property, so we're talking about the stockade fence in the back?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you and William put that up?
Yeah. Plank at a time.
That's the old school way.
Yeah.
Make it look nice that way.
Stick at a time, yeah. Well, actually, we had to put it up twice because we had a storm come in and it blew one side all the way back down. So we had to go put it back up.
Mm-hmm.
We got him to finally put the steel, the metal holes. Yeah.
Okay. So, had you ever been inside that house when that gentleman lived there, William?
Well, yeah.
Okay. And you don't recall his name, but he owned or worked for Janny King?
I think he had a, what do you call it, anyway, yeah.
Janitorial service?
Yeah, it was a janitorial service, but, you can have a piece of that company, but you still be the company that you're your own boss. Franchise. There we go. That's the critter I was looking for.
So you never, I'm assuming you probably saw Shannon and Kirsten running around the neighborhood and so forth.
To tell you the truth, until that happened, I think I seen the kid one time. She was playing with Crystal that lived up the street, but I don't remember if it was in that time frame or what. I really don't, because like I said, I didn't pay no attention.
Okay. Do you remember ever like giving food to Kirsten or talking to Kirsten?
No.
Was she ever at your house?
No.
Anything like
No.
that? Okay.
No.
And do you remember?
I'm actually a leery guy until people start coming around. I'm just oh yeah, I will be your friend. No, not like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to who all was there or who they were. And things like that in my world just fall in place. We accidentally meet. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I know you.
Right.
Then, but no, never,
Okay.
never.
Do you ever recall helping Kirsten with her bike or anything? You don't remember any interactions with her at all?
No, I know there wasn't any interactions. I didn't know them at all. And like I said, I don't even know how long they'd been living there until that happened.
Okay.
Because I was always, that was back when I was fishing. I'd usually come off of work, I'd load up my poles, go to Draper. And sometimes I'd stay there all night.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd always have, second jobs, after hour jobs,
Mm-hmm.
either landscaping or anything to make a buck.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm pretty sure that Detective Miller talked to you this before, but am I correct that you said you had never been over there mowing for Shannon or working on her property or? Okay.
No.
Seems like that come up. Somebody thought you might have been mowing over there or something.
No, he was asking, it's about something about a handyman, is what he was asking me about.
Okay. Well, do you remember ever mowing over there or anything like that?
No.
Okay. While they lived there, do you remember ever being in the yard, the front or backyard for any reason? Okay. How about in the house?
Nope.
Okay. So there was never any time that Shannon asked for your help to fix this or that or mow the yard for me or... Okay.
Just tell you the truth, the only good, and I didn't even recognize her when y'all showed me the pictures of her.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only time I could actually say, okay, that's, I met her once afterwards. She was going up and down the street and, she was still looking for her kid and, I met her once. I gave her some money so she'd have gas money so she could keep doing what she was doing,
Was this like in the days after or
yeah,
talking a long
days
time?
after.
Let me bounce back a little bit. We got off a little bit off track. I was kind of having you go back over what you remembered. Through the night, And I read over the FBI notes that they took when they talked to you. I guess there was some information about you hearing dogs barking.
Yeah, I had a dog in the backyard. His name was Dog. About 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, he went to raising hell. So I just, really, believe it or not, in my neighborhood, we still got skunks and possums and stuff like that, plus other dogs, So I don't know why that woke me up, but because I usually didn't wake up, and usually he's out inside anyway. But it woke me up. And he was barking at that back fence, at our back fence. But at the time, as you walk out my back door, I had an old apricot tree. So unless you went out there, you couldn't see. And I just hollered at him because, thinking there was another dog, because there was always, and traffic, there was human traffic back there. But usually it was other dogs, There was other dogs or cats. There was always animals through there. So I just, I really didn't think nothing about it. I just hollered at him, and he came in, and I went back to bed.
In his account, Tony acknowledged names like Shannon, Kirsten, and others, but stressed that his interactions with them were limited. He recalled observing Kirsten playing once, but couldn't recollect much else. From the initial conversation, it appears that although he was present at the time of the event, his direct involvement or detailed knowledge about it remains minimal.
I'm curious about your thoughts on what happened, who might be involved, that kind of thing.
I don't know, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I didn't know him. But the one thing that's always bothered me, that she left, the mom. She went to Jones, I guess, with her dad or something like that. You couldn't have got me off out of my house. I mean, I know, what if she comes back, or, what if somebody makes a call, or, something like that. There was no way I'd left that house. That's the only thing that bothers me.
Yeah. So you felt like she shouldn't have left, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever at any point over these years or back when it occurred have any knowledge of what happened or know who was involved?
No.
Were you in any way involved?
No.
So you're not responsible for Kirsten's disappearance?
No.
Didn't play any part in that?
No. Like I said, didn't know him. Didn't have, like I said, I just barely, might have seen her once, twice, playing with the kids, but other than that, I didn't know him.
What, just out of curiosity, what do you think the motivation was of whoever did this? I mean, why would this have happened?
Well, then I couldn't have told you, but after, over the years, and hearing the rumors and this and that and the other, it always boils down to drugs. I heard that she was on meth and cocaine and all this other. And Dawn's wife was the same thing. She said, she'd been over there, that night, and they got lit up. So apparently she did get lit up because, if somebody did come in, I mean, wouldn't you have heard it? I don't know.
So,
but I know
does that
some
mean
people.
That she left Kirsten home alone, you think? Or
I don't know. I'm sure she did. But I don't know. Like I said, I didn't know him. And I really didn't pay much attention to Don and his wife. It's just,
where did they live? I'm pretty sure
kind of
that's
catty
all
corner
this.
for me.
Straight across the street?
Not straight, just catty corner. A little white house, catty corner for me.
Okay.
And they had 2 or 3 kids, and I'd come home one day, I was rewarding myself. I did something, and I was stopped at Kentucky Fried Chicken, got me a family pack of chicken. I was going to go down. And the kids, whenever I walked up, they was just, the way they were eyeballing me, like they hadn't ate nothing. I mean, they were really, if you'd have seen them, you'd have thought that too, because I mean, they were skinny. So I got me a piece of chicken, I was chewing on it, and they just, you want some chicken? Yeah. Is that all right if they can have this? Yeah. So I just gave them the whole damn thing.
Yeah. That's good.
Because no, it's not, no, it's something everybody ought to do. When you got kids that are,
Yeah.
And I know he was a welder by trade, but he, talking to him a time or two, things weren't going right for him, and he didn't have money and all that. So yeah, I didn't have a problem,
Who are we talking about? Was a welder? Don. Okay. From looking back over the history, I understood that Shannon's brother, I guess, stayed with you for a short time.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Tell us about that. How did that happen? And
He was in the neighborhood, you know, he's apparently looking for, you know, his niece. So I'm out there one day and he stops and he talks, you know anything, and blah, 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 you know, and we just got to talking, and, you know, he's living in a damn, you know, under a bridge, and dude, you know, I found out already that night that he'd been locked up, you know, so he wasn't a suspect in my book. So, yeah, I opened my house to him, you know, if you ain't got no, because I did that for anybody, you know. It's sick to say, but that's the kind of guy I am. So he needed a place to say, there's a couch, you know, you can trash here for a couple days and, you know, try to do what you got to do to, you know, figure out what happened to your niece. Because, I mean, to me, that's, like y'all, that's serious.
Sure, absolutely.
That's a serious
How long after Kirsten went missing did this happen? Was it like the same week? Was
it probably in the same week.
In the same week?
Yeah.
And then
I can't verify that because, like I said, that's been a while.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was probably about in the same week.
How long did Aaron stay there with you?
Just a couple of days, and then, you know, he'd go off, and then he'd come back, and then I wound up having to just tell him he couldn't come back because he was on meth too. At the time didn't know it.
Can I say too, because you've heard that Shannon was using drugs too?
I mean, I don't know for a fact, but that's what I heard.
And I'll just say this, if you ever partied with them, if you knew they were doing drugs or witnessed it, just tell us that.
No.
We're not.
No, I don't, no. Like I said, and y'all know, you got people that do drugs, you got people that drink, and you don't do drink and you don't, you know, I drink.
Yeah.
But no, I never partied with him. And I never partied with Don and his wife.
Okay. Now, did you know Aaron at all before?
No.
So you'd never met him, never talked to him before either?
No.
Did he ever confide in you anything about the case or anything about
Just
Shannon?
he couldn't clear his sister. Those words will always, you know, I can't, is the way he said it. I can't clear my sister.
So he was suspicious of Shannon, huh? Did he ever give you any real factual information that would be beneficial to the case?
No, like I said, I'm here on my own free will. If I had any information, yeah, I'd give it to you. Because that'd be the same thing if something were to happen to my daughter. My God, yeah.
As the conversation strolled, it eventually came back to the core issue, Kirsten's disappearance. Tony faced inquiries about his knowledge of her vanishing, displaying noticeable unease about the young girl's fate. Speculations surfaced, hinting at potential drug involvement, particularly meth and cocaine, as motives for her sudden disappearance. Interestingly, Tony revealed a more compassionate side, recalling underprivileged kids he had encountered, suggesting a deeper empathy within him. The narrative took a twist as he dived into an account involving Shannon's brother, Aaron. Aaron had stayed with Tony while searching for Kirsten, and intriguingly, he held suspicions about his own sister, Shannon. However, according to Tony, Aaron never provided concrete details. Initially offering Aaron accommodation, Tony eventually had to ask him to leave due to Aaron's struggles with drug issues.
I don't know how she does it. I mean, if she's innocent, God bless her soul, I don't know how she does it, because I just thinking about it, what would I do if my daughter come up missing?
Oh, yeah.
And she's my world. That's all I've got. My old lady can go to hell, but my kid, that's no.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's not me in jail because I'll be carrying Midwest City.
It's hard to imagine. We've talked a lot about kind of the background. I want to kind of talk to you about some new information that's developed in this case, okay? As you know, Detective Miller got some buccal swabs from you.
Yeah.
A couple months back or whenever it was. There was a reason for that, okay? And we collected DNA samples from lots of people, but we had resubmitted some evidence from the case and got a DNA hit, okay? The reason those buccal swabs were being collected was we were trying to find the person responsible, okay? We talked about, had you ever been in the backyard, have you ever been in the house, all those things, and you said you hadn't.
Not while they were there, no.
Okay. Well, I don't believe you. Tony, I don't think you're telling the whole truth, okay? Your DNA is in the backyard the morning that she was discovered missing, okay? And on her window, and on the panties she'd been wearing the night before that were recovered in the backyard.
No. No, not me, because no.
Yeah, that's the truth.
I find it far-fetched, but no. Because I don't know, I didn't know him.
And maybe you didn't know him, Tony, but we need
And I didn't have no business over there, at all.
That may be also. What we need to talk about is what you were doing in that backyard that night and what happened. We need to get to the truth of
I
what
have
happened.
no idea what you're talking about.
Were you there trying to help Kirsten?
No. Like I said, I didn't know anything about them people at all. Nothing. Nothing. Never met them. Never said hi, bye, nothing.
Well, here's our problem with that, is how did your DNA get there then?
Don't know.
I mean, is this something that's gone on, Tony, that, is this one of those things from 17 years ago that a split-second decision has haunted you for 17 years?
No, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Were you there to help her?
No. Like I said, I have nothing to do with them people. Nothing. I didn't know them at all.
Okay, so how did your DNA
I
get
have no idea.
there?
I have no idea.
The investigators stressed the irrefutable nature of the DNA evidence, urging Tony to be forthcoming. Despite their insistence, Tony stood firm in his denials, expressing genuine confusion about how his blood could be linked to the crime scene and desperately seeking an alternative explanation. Tension gripped the room as interrogators appealed to his sense of morality, suggesting that a confession might ease the heavy burden he's carried for 17 years. Undeterred, a detective continued, confronting Tony with the evidence of DNA found on Kirsten's windowsill and clothing.
And that's what I want to give you an opportunity to do, is explain it, because it's scientific evidence. We know for a fact it's your blood. And of course, Tony, I don't have to tell you that when these panties are identified as Kirsten's, and Mom says, yeah, she was wearing those the night before, and the next morning at dawn, your blood is found in them at the back fence of the property. I mean, if you're in my position as the detective, what does that tell you?
Don't look good for me.
No. And I just want to plead with you to be honest.
I want to be honest.
I want
and
you to
I'm
be
doing
honest.
honest.
No.
I don't.
Tony, I think this has gone on for so many years and has been unsolved, as you well know, for a long, long time. And I'm sure you've told people countless times, I had nothing to do with it, I don't know anything about it, etc., etc. But this isn't the time to keep saying the same old routine, because this isn't going away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this is scientific evidence, Tony. That's your DNA. That's your cells from your body. Tell me what happened. How did you get injured?
I'm trying to figure it out myself.
You were in some way injured for your blood to be on her window and for your blood to be in her panties. What I want to know from you, was there some kind of a dispute between you and Kirsten?
I had no dealings with those people. Didn't know nothing about them.
I believe
at
that.
all.
I believe that. But I also believe that this is your DNA on her windowsill and your DNA on her panties in the backyard. I don't doubt that you didn't know them, but that doesn't take this away. This isn't going anywhere. And we've got to get to the truth of the matter. I mean, for you to sit here and say, I've never been in that backyard and I wasn't there, it's a lie, Tony. That's not the truth.
Yeah.
It's not the truth. And I gotta believe, if I can speak frankly, you seem like a good guy. And I know if I'd made a mistake like that, and we all make mistakes, we're all sinners, But I gotta believe this has been bugging you for your entire life since it happened. If it doesn't, then you're a cold-blooded killer, Tony. Is that what you're telling me?
I ain't never killed nobody.
Okay. So you're telling me what happened that morning or that night hadn't been bothering you all these years?
That's not me.
Was that the alcohol, or were you experimenting with something else?
I don't do drugs, and I don't know. I'm still trying to fathom in my mind what my blood.
Yeah.
I was nowhere around there, didn't know them people, didn't have no dealings with them people, didn't care about them people.
Tony, this is your
I understand,
opportunity.
okay.
You can sit here and say that same crap over and over. You and I both know that's not the truth.
No, it's the truth will have to come out. I don't understand this.
The truth is what needs to come out.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that can do that. You're the only person that can bring Kirsten back and let her family have a proper burial for her. You're the person that can help do that. You made a mistake, Tony. Okay, you made a huge mistake. Do what's right now. Take responsibility for what happened and help us get Kirsten back.
I can't help you. Don't know. I don't understand.
You said that's not me, and when somebody says that to me, what it says is I wasn't in my right mind. I was under the influence.
Not in the influence. Like I said, if I had a beer, I might have had two. I went to bed. I always go to bed. I'm a 10 o'clock bedtime guy. The only reasons here lately I haven't been going to sleep is because I have to have a treatment. And I wake up every 2.5 hours, 3 hours, take treatment, go back to sleep. I have nothing bothering me other than breathing problems.
So your conscience hasn't been bothering you for all these years?
No.
Let me ask you this. Your wife told us that every year on Kirsten's anniversary that you're upset about it, that you go through a phase of being depressed and upset about it.
And the reason that is, it's on the news, and yeah, how do you feel about it? Well, yeah, I'm going to be upset. I mean, it's a missing child. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as me, oh, what day is this? No.
It's not just a missing child, Tony. It's a missing child with your blood on her windowsill and your blood on her panties. So should that affect you? Absolutely. Yeah. And that tells me you're human. That tells me that you have a heart and you have a conscience. But you're not showing it, sitting here and denying that you've never been in there. I don't know anything about it. That wasn't me. That's not the truth, Tony. This is the time to get this off your chest.
Yes, but I don't get it.
You need to think about that, because I'm just telling you, when all this gets presented to the judge and jury,
I understand.
Do you think anybody's going to believe what you're saying?
Good on me.
No. Nobody's going to believe you.
I just...
Because it's not the truth, Tony.
Amidst the detective's evident frustration with Tony's continuous denials, emotional appeals were heightened. The detective highlighted Tony's wife's statement, sharing how she mentioned his depression on every anniversary of Kirsten's disappearance, emphasizing that it's a sign of his humanity and a fitting moment to come clean. Despite these emotional appeals, Tony stubbornly stuck to his stance, insisting that he remained unaware of any relevant information.
So her DNA's on it, your DNA's on it, and it's also on the windowsill. That was all done way back when this all happened. It's just now that the DNA results have come back. And I don't know if they told you this. You seem like an intelligent man. So to help you comprehend what we're talking about when we say we know this to be a fact, the number sextillion, what this is saying, if you take a 1 and you put 21 zeros behind it,
yeah,
it's yours. Anybody in the world, any scientist is going to say that that is your blood. Now, obviously when we have a case like this, we're not gonna, Mr. Palmer, we're not gonna lay out everything that we know and everything we have. That's just not the way it works. It'd be counterproductive. We're not gonna do it. There's more than this, but we want to try to get you to digest one thing at a time. Now, having said that, do we know all the circumstances surrounding what happened that night? We don't. Only God, the person who did it, and Kirsten probably know that. But I'm going to tell you this. We do know that Kirsten was wearing those that night. We do know that your blood's on there and her DNA's on there. And that is just an absolute fact.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
And I tell you, just listening and talking to you, 17, 18 years now has passed. I'm going on my 25th year here. I worked every case you could probably imagine. So is Detective Miller, like he was telling you. We're not brilliant men by any stretch of the imagination, but when it comes to this stuff, we're pretty darn smart. And this is what it boils down to. This much time can pass, and if something horrible happens in your life that you don't want to remember, you can put it in a little box and put it out here and try to keep it away from you. It happens. I've had to put horrible things that happened in my life and put it in a little box out here and just hope that it goes away, and that pray that one day it doesn't come out, because I've seen some terrible things.
The detectives tirelessly emphasize the modern advancements in evidence collection, hinting that modern methods would reveal even more comprehensive details. They press Tony regarding his interactions with the FBI, diving into discussions about polygraph tests. Pointing to the DNA evidence reports linking him to the scene, they make repeated emotional appeals, asserting their disbelief that Tony is naturally malicious, painting him instead as a hardworking individual who experienced a momentary lapse leading to the situation at hand. However, Tony maintains his denial, steadfastly negating any involvement despite the weight of evidence presented against him.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This guy especially has been pushing to allow him to be able to talk to you and try to make some sense about it and give you an opportunity to tell the truth. I was kind of against it, to be honest with you, because you don't get that kind of scientific evidence every day. That is absolutely the most astronomical thing that you could imagine. It's about like every grain of sand on the whole planet Earth, or the odds that it's not you that were the last person that touched her panties. That was the last person that went through that window. The odds they're incomprehensible. So is that the way it's going to be, Tony? Is it going to be a deal where till the day you die you're going to
proclaim my innocence? Yeah. I mean,
well,
that's it all right there.
Well, I can tell you this. Well, that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you or get into a battle with you. I can tell you this. Everything that we were going to do here today and everything that you were going to tell us is going to go into a report. It could either be a report saying that he manned up and had some remorse, or it can be that it's that evil person that we were afraid of, and that's up to you. That ball is totally in your court.
The emotional gravity of the situation floods the interrogation as investigators disclose the 17-year quest to find the missing person. Tony is informed about an ongoing search taking place on his property, despite encountering hints and indirect implications about the evidence and potential consequences. Tony stands firm in his unwavering assertion of innocence.
I'll ask you again. Where's she at?
I can't help you.
Okay, I want you to understand too, and you probably already know this, you're not leaving this room
I
today.
understand that.
And you understand that it's probably going to be quite a while that you're going to spend in jail. Just because we don't have a body doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to charge you with anything.
I understand
I've got
that.
enough evidence against you. But, go ahead.
Tony, there's an arrest warrant in that deal signed by a judge, and it's for murder. And judges don't sign that unless there's probable cause. And to be fair to you, okay, to be fair to you, you're not going anywhere. You're being charged with murder. And here's the deal I want you to remember. Right now, we're interviewing every one of your family members. You can probably hear it in the next room. We're already at your house. We will have backhoes, ground penetrating sonar, cadaver dogs, the whole 9 yards.
We was laughing about that yesterday.
What's so funny about that?
That if y'all were to ever go in our backyard, well, I got dogs and cats and pets everywhere in that backyard. I don't know what the hell we was laughing about that. We was watching something on TV.
Like where you bury them?
Or animals, yeah.
Well,
So we're not going to find, and this is your opportunity, because, I mean,
You ain't gonna find Kirsten Hatfield in my backyard.
or on your property anywhere.
No.
Where do I find her?
I don't know.
Did you black out and you took her somewhere and dumped her?
I didn't get her.
Who did?
well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it with, you're that person that has no remorse, and that's the way the report's gonna read.
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing from you is, you could care less if we ever find her, and
Yeah, I did.
you could care less.
Just put a cigarette out for me. Turn around for me. Put your hand on your back. Relax. You're under arrest for murder, kidnapped Kirsten Hatfield.
After 15 years of uncertainty surrounding Kirsten's puzzling disappearance, DNA evidence discovered at the scene directly implicates her neighbor, Tony. Despite Tony's stubborn denials regarding any involvement in her vanishing, the undeniable forensic evidence stands strong. Consequently, he faces arrest and is charged with murder due to the overwhelming weight of the incriminating evidence against him. Remember, it's your curiosity that fuels this channel. Keep exploring, stay inspired, and join us for more amazing content next time.